father, husband, king. The white man has picked up where the black man had stopped. He has continued to prove himself time and time again that he is capable of bringing his black family, that he is the new de facto leader of the black family, that he is now king of the black household, and that he has proven himself that he is more than capable of doing all those things that the black man cannot.
Hello, and welcome to another day in paradise. What did you think of that? I made it. And let me tell you something. It wasn't difficult for me to do so. I literally picked up some clippings from YouTube, did a few Google searches, strung them all together, and started talking bollocks. I didn't even need a script. And that's how easy it was. It took me about 20 minutes to rustle that up. And you should have got triggered by that video. And if you didn't, then why the hell are you even watching this video? If you didn't get triggered by that video, why are you even following this channel for? The whole point was to sort of show you how easy it is to manipulate our emotions. It's not a difficult thing to do, and that is a big problem. So if you think about it, I mean, imagine somebody who's a white supremacist who is absolutely dedicated to making sure people like us are disheartened by the people in Africa. So imagine, it wouldn't take much for him to do that. If it took me 20 minutes to do that, what about somebody that's dedicating his life to making sure that we feel triggered every single day? It's for this reason that I must applaud one YouTuber that I've been watching for quite some time now. Actually, I say quite some time, only a few months since she's moved to Ghana, and her name is the Black Unicorn. Lena75 did a live stream a few weeks ago, and I was already impressed by her anyway. I was impressed by her attributes as an African American woman who had the balls to pack up her things and move out of the United States of America, because she knew that there were better prospects on other lands. She goes by the name Lena75, I believe, and she is beautiful, she is articulate, she's intelligent, she's sophisticated, she is everything, and she is absolutely 100% balls to the wall B1. So Lena75 is, like I said, she's an African American lady who used to, I think she came out of Ohio, and she left the United States to go and live in Germany. And she, after experiencing the Germany and experiencing what I already know, because I've worked in Germany before, what I knew she was going to get, which was racism. Different type of racism, by the way. Not the overt racism that you would get in the United States, but something different. After experiencing that, she left Germany, and then went to settle in Ghana, and she has loved every bit of her experience of being in Ghana. So she had an experience not long ago, and I want you to actually listen to what she has to say here, because this live stream, she was already big in my eyes already, but after this live stream, she went up in my heart like tenfold. I just thought, wow, what an incredible human being. So I'm going to have you listen to a little part of this live stream and see if you can get what I'm getting at. Take a listen to this.
When white people take notice of things, they want to control the narrative. And I say this because I got hit up by a casting agency working for one of these production, are they called production? Like those big ass TV stations that do shows and stuff, asking if I wanted to, or if I could, one, be involved with the project, two, give them people to contact to be able to follow on their transition from America to Ghana. Now, what made this interesting, like I spoke with them, I talked to them because I was curious. But what made it interesting was their reaction to my questions made me know something about this ain't right. So, welcome you guys to the live. I am totally random. Hi, Forever Home, Frederick, Mr. Hillary, and all of you watching in the background. I'm talking today about Black stories being told through white narratives. And I feel like I need to talk about this because this is going to happen to many of you, if not already has happened. But it's about how we control our own stories now in 2020. So, and I'm talking about this because this company called, I'm going to put them on blast because they was trying. But this girl is a casting agent, little white girl. You know, I guess she probably grown or something. Maybe she's like 30 or something, little white girl. Was emailing me, so we went back and forth, and we finally had a Google Meets meeting. And she's talking to me about this project, and I'm asking very specific questions. First question: are there any African Americans, Black people, or Africans working on this project as directors, producers, or any other capacity? She almost got floored. Started stuttering. We don't discriminate. Well, you know what? I think you do discriminate, because if you're going to say we don't discriminate out the gate, that makes me suspicious. So, you know, I've been dealing with them for a long time, and I've been in white spaces my entire career. So I know the flow of how they do things. So I'm sitting here listening, and I'm like, okay. And then she's like, oh, yeah, we have a producer, and she's Black. I said, okay. She's like, you can talk to her today. I was like, I don't have time today, but we can schedule an appointment. We can schedule something short, no problem. And so the second question I asked her was, how is the story going to be told? Is this a story where, you know, how do you plan on telling this story? Because you have to edit. You have to go through the content and decide what to include and what not to include. Is this going to be told through a white narrative? She did not like the fact that I used the word white narrative and did not know how to act. And then I was like, the third question I asked her was like, and so how will they be compensated? And she was like, compensation? Oh, I mean, we can give them an iPhone. We can let you be the host if you want. I was like, I have no interest in being on TV. No, thank you. I was like, aren't you getting compensated for calling me and trying to recruit Black people for this show? And she was just stuttering like crazy. So after I did some research on this little white girl, who was a little racist, and her little sidekick, who happened to be a young Black girl and working underneath her, it was just all a mess. So I declined. I sent a proper professional email saying that I can't do this because I don't believe in telling stories about Black people on the continent or in the diaspora that will perpetuate negative stereotypes, nor do I think it's appropriate for Black stories to be told through white narratives. The little white girl sent me a little nasty email. Nasty. Told me I was a racist. because I don't want to work with them. Y'all, hold on to our Black stories. Be true to who we are. You know, don't let them hijack our migration to the continent. What is happening right now is on the radar of the world. Don't think it's not. It's on mad display. These folks are watching what we do because nobody spends money and nobody holds on to it like Black folk. Just think about the Black folks the world over. But the US alone, we're talking trillions of dollars spent on nonsense. Imagine if that money came up and came to Africa.
So there you have it. What an incredible thing to do. What? I think she literally is a person who turned down the opportunity to grow her channel and to grow her business. She turned it down, and she did it because she knew that A, there wasn't any people that were making this who were doing it for the benefit of African diasporans or continentals. It was to benefit, I don't even know how to say this, I've got to say this carefully, them. It was to benefit them, of course. So she knew this, so she asked the right questions and she turned it down. She turned down that opportunity. Now, if that isn't B1, I have no idea what is, because I don't know anyone else. I literally don't know anybody else that wouldn't have taken up that offer. Got to remember, it's money, isn't it? It's money, because if she grows her channel, her YouTube channel, the more money she gets, right? So she has literally turned down money because she is staying absolutely on code. I mean, for instance, if you look at the YouTuber Vanessa Camby. Vanessa Camby was known in the UK because of terrestrial TV, BBC. So I knew her before she made this YouTube channel. I knew her before that because I lived in Scotland. That's where she's from, and I think she was on BBC4, which is sort of like the art section of the BBC. So she literally, oh my gosh, she's literally jumping out of here. That's why I had to stop the video before. So Vanessa Camby grew her channel, her YouTube channel, exponentially, simply because she had a base already of being known, albeit by a small niche group of people, but by being known already on terrestrial British television. But the reason why why the Black Unicorn turned down this opportunity was because she knows that they will pervert those images and videos. They will take that story and they will twist it to suit a narrative that does not have the interests of continentals and diasporans at heart. Not only that, but she dealt with it with so much style and class. Wow. Definitely, Lena75, Black Unicorn, definitely somebody you should be learning from. So, when I talk about controlling the narrative, when she's talking about controlling the narrative, she's talking about a concerted effort to make sure that we as diasporans view Africa in a way in which they want us to view it. I'm going to show you a video right now, and this is absolutely what Lena75 was talking about. I mean, this is brilliant, so I need you to just take a look at this video. This was sent to me by Nakmizi, and so I have to thank him for that. I need you to take a look at this video and let me know what you think about it. Take a look.
It takes just a short visit to the local market to see the gulf of 500 years of separation.
I don't want smoke, I want fresh.
Most locals don't even regard them as fellow blacks.
You have Gruba, I want Gruba.
They call them a Bruni, meaning whites.
How much you gonna charge me? And don't charge me old Bruni prices. Beanie. If you charge me old Bruni, I don't buy. I like you, so I'm gonna pay 1,000, but I know you overcharge me.
So is she a Bruni? She's a Bruni, is she?
Yeah. So I'm not old Bruni, I'm Bibini. Okay, yo, Ashanti. It is not a very pleasing way to be identified. You know, we don't want to be called O'Bruni because we certainly weren't treated like O'Bruni in the U.S. By any stretch of the imagination. We were treated as African people. So that is a challenge.
She's also found that people have little sympathy for them as descendants of slaves.
They don't know the history. They don't know who we are. They don't know that we are Abebu. They don't know that we are descendants of the Africans that were taken here through enslavement into the various Americas. They don't understand that for the most part. But our task and our challenge is to bring this information back to our brothers and sisters here.
That was exactly what Lena 75 was talking about. That is the reason why it is extremely important for us to control the narrative. Because as you could see, yeah, there are people who think this way in Africa. Okay, they probably weren't paid to say those things. They probably said it out of the goodness of their own heart. And let's be honest with ourselves here. There are a lot of people, African continentals, who think that way because they were treated badly by African Americans if they had been to Africa before, or if their parents had been to, America before. So if their parents had been to America before, it is highly likely, say if they went to America in the 90s or the 80s, damn, they would have had a world of hurt from not just from the white people, but from the African Americans as well. I went to the States in the 80s, and I went there in the early 90s to live. And let me tell you something. I remember the attitude that most African Americans had towards African continentals, and it was not a good attitude. It was pure ignorance coming out of their mouths. They had no idea, literally no idea. Everything that they'd been taught had come from the TV, pop culture, and essentially the media. I mean, African Americans used to treat non-foundational African Americans. They used to treat them like crap. They used to say the nastiest things about them. That nothing good used to come out of their mouths, and that's in general. We know that there were niche pockets of pro-African African Americans who knew the score. Even back in the 80s and the 90s, they were there, they existed. But from what I saw when I was over there, boy, I can tell you this. I can tell you this right now. There is a reason why a lot of continental Africans feel this way. It's because of the way African Americans, foundational African Americans, think and treated Africans, newly migrated Africans into America, the way they treated them. They treated them so, like, as if they were superior. So the opposite happened on the other side of the the Atlantic. The Africans started to sort of fight back and started to say, well, yeah, for one, you believed everything that the Mzungu has told you on TV. So what does that make you? Not only that, but the culture you have, your culture you have is inferior to the culture we have. Our culture goes back thousands and thousands of years. So you had this splitting apart of these two people who were essentially the same bloody people. And then in the background, you have the Europeans sitting there laughing, going, this was so easy, we did it. If it's that easy for them to tear us apart, then we are not ready. We are not ready. And this is the reason why it's important that we control the narrative, that we build institutions and companies, organizations to combat this concerted effort to break the African diaspora apart and to keep the African diasporans and the African continentals fighting against each other. So guys, that's what I'm asking you to do today. I'm asking you to really be careful with what you listen to on YouTube. Be careful, because there are people out there, there are white supremacists who are building these black accounts so they can control the narrative, and it's free for them to do that. And it's so easy for them to do that as well. Okay, so they are building these black accounts and they are dictating the narrative towards us. You have to be careful. You cannot just vicariously listen to everything that you see on the internet. I know it sounds cliche, but you can't. You can't believe everything you see on the internet. A lot of it is just rubbish, and a lot of it has been built to evoke emotions, negative emotions in you, and negative thoughts in you about our brothers and sisters on the continent. So we need to be really careful. So that's it from me from today, for today. Thank you for listening. I'd like to say thank you to the new subscribers to the account. Thank you very much for subscribing, and I've got some good content coming up soon, so I've got to do some traveling as well for that, so it's going to be really cool. So yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, and ta-ra a bit.